You own an application that has 10 million users. One of them asks delete my account or reminds you of the right to be forgotten in the EU, and under the law you must do that. What do? You run a delete query. Then the data is gone, or almost gone. From the outset, deleting data from an application looks simple. Click a button, once the button is clicked, an SQL query gets executed against the database, and you're done, right? Well, not necessarily, because what does delete actually mean? Does it mean that the row disappears from the table? Does it mean that the bytes containing the data are physically erased from the disk? Does it mean that there are no copies of the data anywhere else? And what about your backups, or replicas, or database logs, or indexes, or another transaction that's currently reading the same row? What does delete actually mean? Let's start with the simplest possible table. We delete one row and Bob is seemingly gone. But Bob is not gone because databases have something called MVCC or multi-version concurrency control. Do you think about the fact that another SQL query may be using the data you want to delete? If your database immediately destroyed Bob's data, what will happen to the query reading it? Databases can keep different versions of data around and then use these versions to determine which version a particular transaction is allowed to see. This is a very important concept to understand because the database can then clean up the old data later once it knows that no transaction still needs it. For example, PostgreSQL uses a process called vacuum to clean up obsolete row versions and make the space available for reuse. So deleting data can actually create more work for the database. You delete a row, you may no longer see it, but the database may have to clean up the consequences of that deletion long after your data is gone.